Knowles on the News. Susan Knowles.
Hi, everyone. Now that Christmas is over, New Year's Eve is fast approaching. It'll be here before you know it. The new year, 2016, will be upon us. Seems like only yesterday we were worried about Y2K, the year 2000. And here we are 16 years down the road. And is it a better time that we're living in than we were in 2000? I don't think so. We all know that. We know that 9/11 in 2001 brought tremendous change. And with the elections in 2008 and 2012, we have seen this country transformed into a country that we don't recognize. We've seen our freedoms rapidly disappearing and will continue, I'm afraid, to disappear as we go into 2016. You know, 2015 was quite a tumultuous year for all of us. And if you didn't hear my show in Stand for Truth Radio on Monday, go back and check that out. I have a montage from 2015. Just listening to that, it's about 15 minutes long. It'll let you know what we went through. And when you look back and you hear all of it, it's hard to imagine that we did all of that in 2015 and that we suffered through all of that in 2015 and that our country took a turn for the worse in 2015, a noticeable turn for the worse. Now, what's upcoming for 2016? Well, I think this president in his last year is going to pull out all the stops. He's already said that regardless of what Congress wants to do and what the Pentagon wants to do, he's going to close Gitmo by executive order. And again, who is going to try to stop him? We haven't stopped him since 2008. We all know that he's had unconstitutional actions, one right after the other. He continues to do exactly what he wants, whether anybody likes it or not. So it's just going to get worse. We've seen the divisiveness of this president in every aspect of what he does. He will try to further divide us so that we're fighting against each other. And while we're doing that, we won't notice what's coming from the White House. We also have the GOP, who obviously no longer, and hasn't for quite some time, but no longer cares about what the people of this country want. Paul Ryan has been an absolute disappointment to all of us. I didn't want Paul Ryan in there as Speaker of the House, but he got in there anyway because of his connections. And you can see the tremendous damage that he has done already and what further damage he's going to do with allowing the refugees to continue to bombard this country, those that would have potential in doing harm against us here. And I hope it's true what they say, that there is a possible candidate in Wisconsin who is willing to challenge Paul Ryan for his seat. I pray that that is true. I pray that we all get behind that candidate and get Paul Ryan out, because that's the only way we're going to do it. Because he, as you may recall, he struck a deal with all those GOP members saying that if I take this job, you're not going to try to fire me like you did John Boehner. And I love what people are saying now. They're calling Paul Ryan the bearded John Boehner, the bearded Boehner. He certainly is. It's hard to tell one from the other. I think the only difference is that Ryan hasn't broken down and cried yet, but he has had lunch, a 2-hour lunch with Nancy Pelosi before dropping the bombshell that he did by, once again, just like Boehner, giving this president a windfall in the omnibus bill. Just unbelievable disrespect and disregard for what the citizens of this country want. And while we're talking disappointment, Trey Gowdy, another disappointment, another person who has come out, shown us now who he really is, that he really was that wolf in sheep's clothing all along. We just couldn't see it. Now he's in support of Marco Rubio and going out trumping for Rubio, and I guess we're finding out that Trey Gowdy feels about the same way that Rubio does about amnesty. And make no doubt about it, it is amnesty, no matter what they say. And apparently we're going to have another few months, at least up until the election or when they pick a nominee for president, where we see Donald Trump under attack again, this time from a person who has created an app so that in every story you go through now, you can use this app to get rid of Donald Trump in the article. So you will no longer have to put up with Donald Trump. Now, we'll still have Bernie Sanders and Hillary Clinton, of course, because that's who we really want to hear from. We don't want to hear from anybody on our side who may be able to help turn this country around. Oh, no, let's just get rid of him and X him out of every article that's online. Well, I'll tell you, Mr. App Maker, you're probably going to have a lot of difficulty because most articles online are written about Donald Trump because he is, like it or not, the man of the hour that everybody is looking at and looking to try and help turn this country around. And when I say everybody, of course I don't mean every single person because there are people who are against Donald Trump. But I'm talking about what seemingly is the majority of GOP are looking at Donald Trump as somebody of real interest and somebody they want to know further to see if he is the candidate that they are willing to vote for. And for those who are still sitting on the fence and don't want to vote for Donald Trump, I think you're going to have to somehow come to terms with the fact that if it's between Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton, if you stay at home, you have just essentially voted for Hillary Clinton. And a vote for Hillary Clinton will put that final nail in the coffin, if not digging a hole for that final coffin's resting place. So if you're willing to do that, then I don't know what you expect, because there will be no hope in 2016 and beyond for anything new to occur. Get used to having no freedoms after she gets through with you. We all know Hillary Clinton, and we know who she is, and we know what she's capable of doing. She has to be kept out of the presidency, and the only possible way of doing that is voting against her, period. So until next time, it's Susan Knowles for Knowles on the News. Happy New Year.